God kväll, everyone, and welcome back to another one of our reaction videos. In this one, we're going to be discussing the 12 finalists of Sweden's Melodifestivalen 2023. My name is Ervin, and I'm joined by Nick, Nathan, and Anne. We're going to be starting with Panetoz and their song On My Way.
It's good to see Panetoz back in Melodifestivalen, and they always bring, a very different angle to the usual stereotypical Melfest acts. Obviously, they bring some urban music, which is badly needed, I think, at Melfest. But they do it in a very Melfest, very typical pop way. It's not sort of like inaccessible. The song, as always, from Panetoz is good fun. There's a bit at the end where they sort of like get like a selfie stick type thing, and then like filming themselves on the stage instead of the normal camera. So that works really well. It's I was really surprised it didn't close the show, because there's a part during the show where they asked the audience to stand up and dance along with them. And last year, obviously, Medina, which was a great show closer. So the running order this year is obviously set up in a particular way for a certain reason, which I'm sure we'll elaborate on during our comments. But yeah, it's a really good song, really decent. I really enjoy it. I think I've got it in my top 4. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this in the hall on Saturday.
Yeah, I must say it's quite high up in my ranking as well. I don't know if you're supposed to reveal that already, but it's an entry I really like. I'm really happy to back as well. Funny thing is, I'm gonna agree with you a lot on this one. I think it's happy. They're always like bringing good vibes to Melodifestivalen with, like I said, kind of a different song, but still in a palatable way. It doesn't scare people away. And it's also funny you mentioned Medina, because that's what I was thinking of at the kind of closer to the end of the performance as well. The way they turn it back to the audience, and then you see the whole audience partying as well. It's always really inclusive with them, which I like. It's like they get all of Sweden behind them, and well, they always reach the final as well on all of the 3 occasions, if you remember well. So yeah, it's clearly something Sweden likes.
On My Way out of 10. Nick?
I am going to give it an 8.
Nathan?
I'm giving it a 7.
Anne?
Don't like it. Sorry. 5.
I don't really like it either. For me, it's a 4. The second act is going to be Nordman with Slapp, alla sorger.
This is really difficult because I love their 2008 entry. It was my absolute favourite. The name escapes me right now, but made it into the final, was 6th in the final, really loved it. But this, their third entry, I mean, they've been going for years, and their first Melfest was 2005, so that makes them, quite old. And I think that shows a little bit, and I love the fact that they've got the sort of authentic instrument on stage. That's great, because Mons and Petra told us that they should do that. But and some great graphics, but I don't think the song is strong enough really to do anything wonderful on the final scorecard.
See, whilst I was watching the performance, I mean, just to be clear, like, I don't speak Swedish, and I don't know whether this has something to do with the lyrics, but it made me wonder whether the song is like about bird or something, because there were so many bird graphics and so many birds in the backdrop that, I don't know, it really made me think. And I like that this song is so different to everything else in this competition. They made the staging like very simple, but they sung the song like really, really well. Like, I don't know how I expected them to. The chorus does stand out, and I do think that like it has the right amount of power. But the instrumental part right after the chorus reminds me so much of the song called The Riddle by Nick Kershaw, but maybe a little bit more like Gigi D'Agostino's version. And because like it's exactly the same melody and exactly the same rhythm, and I just like can't get over that. And like, if you don't know the song, give it a listen. Overall, it's quite all right. As I said, like it is different, and I'm glad they're in the final as they bring like a little bit more variety to the show.
I just want to say, commenting on the birds, like they don't mention birds, but it makes sense in a way that's about like letting go of all your worries, and it's like an uplifting song. That's how it's meant. So the birds make sense in a way, like flying away high above the sky. You know, the feeling of euphoria. It's funny I mentioned that, but okay. Regarding what we're going to talk about later, but yeah, we'll see.
Let's go Nordman song out of 10. Nick?
Nice, nostalgic song, but it didn't go direct to final for a reason. 6.
Nathan?
It's just enough. It's not among my favorites, but it's just enough for me, so I'm going with a 6 as well.
Anne?
Yeah, welcome back, Nordman. Happy to see him, but it's still a 6.
Oh, we're giving them 4 6s then.
Oh.
Next up, we have THEOZ with Mer of Day.
Same with Panetoz. I'm really glad that THEOZ is back because he's such a nice lad, always bringing good vibes as well. He's kind of the artist no one can hate, and it shows in the voting as well. Like, young people like him, and older people think he's like a sweet young lad. So yeah, he's always getting the votes he needs to advance, at least, well, twice via the semi-final, but he's in the final again, so he's doing something right. This song, I must say I like it less than the song he sang last year, but that one was more exciting. I like the darker staging, and thought the melody was more exciting than this one, but it's still enough. I don't hate it. It's catchy, so yeah, I mean, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good, so I'm happy for him, and that it's in the final. I mean, it doesn't make the lineup more diverse, but it makes it happier, if that makes sense. So yeah, good job, I'd say, overall.
See, the only thing I agree about all of that, I'm sorry, Nathan,
Yeah.
is that he is very likable. But apart from that, like, from the moment that the song started, I knew exactly what was going to happen at every single moment, as this feels like your typical, like, massively produced Melodifestivalen song that we get every single year, either in Melodifestivalen or in any other national final that accepts like foreign composers, which, well, to be honest, is most of them. And there's just, at least for me, there's not a single thing that's original or unique about this entry, because from the beginning, you know in advance how this song is going to build up. You know exactly when the beat is going to kick in. You know when the fireworks are going to go off, when the singer is going to look into which of the cameras, literally every single thing. And I do agree. Exactly. This definitely has its own audience, but I'm definitely not that. I'm
not
sorry.
One of them. Let's see, yeah.
Well, let's score Mer of Day out of 10. Nick?
3 to 9, that voting range. Songs don't really appeal to me. 6.
Nathan?
Giving it a 5.
Anne?
Oh my God, you're saying predictable pop is a bad thing? I love it. It's an 8.
Okay.
For me, this is a 3. Song number 4 is going to be Rhythm of My Show, performed by Sekelius.
I love Sekelius. She's such a great addition to the Melfest lineup. Obviously, her second year back, twice in a row now. She's in the final. Came through the second chance route last year, or semi-final as they call it, and now obviously went direct to final. To me, it's a much more confident, accomplished performance that she puts in this year. I do think she does struggle a little bit with the vocals. I was watching some of the rehearsals during the week, and even on the final run through, the song is quite difficult for her to sing. But she just exudes, charisma and confidence on the stage. The Swedish public obviously love her as well. Why she's been put into slot 2, I don't know. I get the feeling that maybe the first heat didn't particularly do very well voting-wise or reaction-wise as to how SVT wanted it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing this live in person, because it's a really good, like, catchy, modern, has Latin influences about it. And yeah, it's going to be a good early show opener on slot 2.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, you've stolen all my best lines now, so thanks for that. I think she's really grown as an artist this year, and the song is a lot more. I think last year's one was great, but it was one of those predictable Melfest type entries. This one has got a little bit more to it, and it seems like a more, I don't know, for want of a better word, a more sensible entry, the more grown-up entry, and that's great to see. And she is just, because seeing her grow last year from the heats and the semi-final and everything to the final was brilliant, and she's gone up another notch this year. So yeah, really like it. But you're right, Nick, she's got some vocal challenges in it, but yeah, they're nicely sort of not masked by the backing track, but the backing track does help quite a bit.
Rhythm of my show, out of 10. Nick?
It's a 8 from me.
Nathan?
It's a 4 for me.
Anne?
It's a 7.
So spread.
For me, it's a 5. Next up, we have Marcus and Martinus with Air.
So people were talking about how they were only in for promotional purposes. You know, they participated in the Masked Singer in Sweden, won it even. So they were quite a hit back there. And I was like, oh, they're only doing this. That's what I expected, maybe, to do it only to get their name out there even more. But I was so pleasantly surprised. It's totally the opposite, because the song is... No, let me say, not even the song. It's the whole package, the song and the staging is one of the best things I've seen in Melodifestivalen in a long time. I think Sweden was always, back in the days in Melodifestivalen, pushing the envelope with the stagings and the songs, and that they were kind of dropping the ball a bit in recent years. But this is finally an entry I can really get behind again, really think is both the production of the song and the way they stage it with the beautiful laser show, something that's world class, and I could really see you win Eurovision. So yeah, you're already hearing that my votes for this are going to be high, but yeah, I'm really fond of this entry, and I'm so happy they're in. And if a certain other person wasn't in, they'd probably be my winner. But yeah, I'm not saying more than that, but I'm really loving this.
So yeah, this is a very modern, very catchy pop hit that's going to be huge all over the airwaves in Sweden this summer. I think they'll get exactly what they want from this, which is more exposure. As Nathan said, they're trying to break into the Swedish market, and this is really going to help them with that. But the staging is very effective. It's very, it's very strong. It works well with the song. They performed a lot better than I thought they would, actually. They really do sell the package really well. And it's one of those ones when it comes on Spotify, I really look forward to hearing it again, because it's really well produced, and given we've got the same 4 or 5 songwriters rotating around they definitely put some of their better efforts into this one in the final lineup. So I think it's going to do really well on Saturday, and I expect we'll be hearing a lot more of them in the future.
Turn that into points.
So I am going to give it an 8.
Nathan?
I'm going to give it, and I didn't even mention their dancing yet. I think that was really cool, but it sort of adds to the package. I'm giving it a 10.
Wow, first 10.
So,
and
yeah.
I'm going to give it an 8. I would have given it higher, but I heard the mic-only version video.
I'm also going with an 8. Next up, we have Maria Sur with Never Give Up. Now, from what I read, this is the girl who is from Ukraine, and she escaped to Sweden together with her family when the war started. And apparently she was competing in the Ukrainian X Factor, but I don't know whether then this was also interrupted because of the war that's happening. Putting that aside, well, talking about a song, if you look at the music itself, it actually kind of feels like a song that the winner of X Factor or any other sort of talent show would actually get after winning the show. It would probably chart for a couple of weeks just because of the artists themselves. And then shortly after, everyone's going to forget about the song because there's about like 700 others that sound exactly the same. Maria is a fantastic singer, but I feel that she is so much better than the actual song, because you could have written a much better produced song for her and with less cheesy and cliche lyrics, in my opinion. But I'm glad she's here.
Oh my God, those lyrics. I mean, pain and rain. I'm surprised they didn't put in there Ukraine. It really is just the most basic thing. My dog could have written better than that. And it's like you said.
Hello to Doodle.
Hi, Doodle. Oh no, he's sleeping. He's just had big dinner. So it's just such a shame because, like you said, Ervin, she's so much better than this song, and she seems absolutely adorbs as well. She had a little video on TikTok where she was like, "Oh, you go straight through to the final, and then you see Loreen, and there's photos of her watching the performance of Tattoo." And I thought, oh, poor thing, because everyone was properly building her up when it was her heat. And yeah, she's so much better. She needs to come back, do it again next year, but get a decent song, not something that where you're trying to just pull on the heartstrings as well.
Never give up out of 10. Nick?
Never give up, Maria, because it's not your year. 5.
Nathan?
Yeah, she's lovely and talented, but she deserved a much better, much more original song. I'm giving it a 2.
Anne?
Wow, even I'm not that harsh. I'm going to give it a 4.
I'm with Nick on this one. It's a 5 for me. We're halfway through, so let's continue with Kiana and her song, Where Did You Go?
So I'm sure, like most people, I've never heard of Kiana before this year's Melodifestivalen, but wow, she's been the revelation for me in regards to a young breakout star. I think she's going to have real future potential in this competition. And as a first entry, you know, she's really smashed it out the ballpark as far as I'm concerned. She's got a real modern, you know, Swedish-friendly radio hit on their hands. You could play it in Euroclub. You could, you know, you'd want to dance to it. You know, if you heard it coming on, well, most of us would. I'm not sure everybody would, but I'm sure most people would enjoy it. But yeah, seriously, she obviously has got some very big notes in the performance, but she's dancing. She's doing a big old leg kick right at the end. She's just having her time of her life on the stage. She was so excited to qualify on Saturday night for the final, and I'm sure she's going to do herself justice. And hopefully, the Swedish people will continue to support her back next year. And I think if she wants to go to Eurovision, no, she's probably going to have to come up with a more impactful song. But as a first entry, I think she smashed it. So well done, Kiana.
Well, first of all, let me just start by saying that I had the pleasure of speaking to Kiana, and she seemed like the loveliest girl, really. And when I heard the song, first I was taken away by her singing voice, because I did not expect her to sing with such a deep voice. And she did give us some very strong vocals, but when she went to those high notes, she was way off. She had great stage presence as well, but I feel that the song is just your typical kind of like teenage upbeat club track. And I feel that like this is something that's like I would listen to when I was in high school. I would probably jump to this song like if I was out in a club with my friends, but that's the only surrounding in which I would listen to this song, and like that's about it. And I think that like after Melodifestivalen, the only thing that I'm gonna remember about this entire song are those 4 words, "Where did you go?" Because she repeats them like 728 times during the song. And it's exactly the same sort of thing that I remember from Mariette's song a couple of years ago, which was "For You, for you, for you, for you, for you." Because I don't remember even the hint of the melody, but I just remember that she was singing "For You." I think that this is the same thing I'm going to remember about Kiana asking me, "Where did I go?" Let's score Kiana's song out of 10. Nick?
If it's for a young person's disco, Ervin, Colour Me Young, 9.
Nathan?
Yeah, great debut, lots of talent. I'm giving this an 8.
Anne?
I'm just a teenager at heart, 9.
I'm the old person here then. I'm going to give this one a 4. Let's continue with Paul Ray and his song Royals.
Oh, I think somebody gave him this song by accident, because Paul's previous entries have been quite on the bland side, and this song is quite good. So I don't know if he just like rocked up and they handed the wrong music to him. And Maybe Maria Sorger should have had it instead. I don't know. But yeah, I really like the song. There's just something about Paul Ray that I find quite off-putting. And I can't put my finger on what it is, but I've never really gelled with any of his entries. But Roz is really good, and I enjoy it. And then I see it's Paul Ray and I go, oh, wait. Yeah, it's weird for me.
I, for one, have always found him a sweet guy. I always thought he was really charming. So it's just, I think I'm kind of the opposite, that I always liked him more than his entries, because I've always wanted to see him with a more upbeat entry. And I'm really happy his entry this year is finally up-tempo. It's just that I expected something a little bit better, like the up-tempo songs he used to sing and write himself a few years ago. But this is decent, actually. I'm not too enthusiastic about it, but yeah, it's good, and I'm glad he made the final with it. So yeah, it scored exactly as it should have, I guess. As in reaching the final, we don't know how it's going to do there, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay. And the staging, I like the staging. It's the street vibe of it. So all in all, the package is quite convincing, I guess. Yeah.
I see Doodle has woken up in the meantime. So let's score Royals out of 10. Nick?
Do not have a key change 20 seconds from the end. Shocking. 4.
Nathan?
For me, a 6.
Anne?
Yeah, I'm happy to give that a 6.
I'm giving this a 4. We got the song number 9, which is one of the biggest favorites to win. It's Loreen with Tattoo. I think that everyone who knows me knows how much I really love Loreen. She always has something to say with her music, with her performances, and her voice always brings something very special, or at least I feel like that. But when I was listening to this particular song for the very first time, the live version, I could not understand a single word, and that made me super annoyed. And just before I start getting comments under this video saying that I don't know what I'm talking about, like, chill down and listen first. The lyrics of this song are, in my opinion, not as clear as Euphoria or Statement or Sidewalk or many of other Loreen songs. And in the live version, I felt that the chorus was too mumbled and I could not make out any of the words, only the melody of it. And that's the only thing that like I could hum back afterwards, because like I couldn't sing any of the lines. The mystery that was in her performance is exactly the sort of mystery I would expect from her when performing live, and I was very happy with that. I just wish that I could have understood her more than I did. Nevertheless, I do think that this is a fantastic song. It is on my Spotify playlist already. I've been listening to it quite a lot, and I'm pretty sure that like this is something that I'm gonna listen to on full volume for a long time, regardless whether she ends up winning Melodifestivalen or not.
I'm going to find it quite difficult to articulate all my feelings about the song because I have a lot of them. I was lucky enough to watch the live rehearsal on the SVT rehearsal feed, and I was very blown away watching it the first time. I don't get emotional very often, but I was sort of like welling up just sort of watching it. It was that strong a performance. I totally agree with what you say, Ervin, in regards to her artistry, and you know the staging here is ridiculously good. It's insanely effective. You know, we were talking about Eminem earlier in regards to their staging, but this blows that completely out of the water. It's the best staging I think I've ever seen at Melodifestivalen, and it will be the best staging I think we'll ever see at Eurovision as well. The 100% like commitment from her to every little move that she makes is obviously like coordinated and just works. Honestly, this is going to absolutely, it should tear up the vote on both jury side and televote side on Saturday. It will go to Liverpool, and I would be very unsurprised if we're in Stockholm or Malmö next year. So well done, Loreen. Amazing, fantastic. You've knocked it out the ballpark again. And I'm looking forward. Got tickets for Saturday. Yes.
Well, let's score Tattoo out of 10. Nick?
10.
Nathan?
Agree with everything Nick said, a 10.
And
I find the melody a little bit repetitive at times. It's the same melody over and over again. Chorus, verse, chorus. It's all the same. But I still love it. And the performance is amazing. 9.
I'll go with a 9 as well. We got to song number 10, which is Where You Are, Sávežan, by Henrik Fjällgren, Art North, and Adam Woods.
So he's another one we're very happy to see back. And not only me, I mean, he's always a nice guy. He's always so shy and quiet, but with a good heart. So I just have a soft spot for him, I guess. But yeah, Sweden loves him clearly as well. It's like straight to the final on every single occasion for him. Also, whatever person he teams up with, he blends well with them as well. And I think what I really like about this entry is the slickest way so far in which they presented yoiking music and his voice. So it really gets to shine in the modern music Art North and Adam Woods bring. Also love that someone is singing along with him. I love that in one of his previous entries, the one with Ininia as well. I don't think he's going to win this year. I mean, he's always like one of those people you think that could potentially win Melodifestivalen, but look over in this year, like as the weeks went by, the candidates became stronger and stronger. So now I wouldn't count him in as a winner, but he's going to finish very high again. Like people love him and the presentation is good. So yeah, this is gonna do well, and good job on him.
Don't you find though that they've kind of just shoehorned him in? It's just like, oh, we've got this great song. I mean, Adam Woods, I think, does a terrific job with a great song, and then it's like John Hendricks is going, oh, I'm here as well, and does his little bit, and then he sort of runs off again. And it's just, I mean, he doesn't run off the stage there, but it's just a little bit sort of shoehorned in, like, how are we going to make it a John Hendricks song? We'll just give him a little bit, and then we'll crack on with the actual song. And that annoys me a little bit. I wish he was a bit more front and centre and a bit more present rather than just popping up, yoiking, buggering off again. So I just think he's not, it's like shoehorning a key change in. It's that kind of thing. They've just bolted him in there and just for no reason. It doesn't seem to go with the rest of the vibe of the song.
Where You Are, Sávežan, out of 10. Nick?
I really like the song, but he's got to stop with the drunk uncle at a wedding dancing. It's horrific. 7.
Nathan?
I'm giving it a 5.
Anne?
Oh no, I'll go 7 with this.
The only song that I liked of his was the one with Aninia. This for me is a 4. Two more to go. Let's continue with Mariette and her song One Day.
I'm a Mariette fan. I've loved her entries. But this one, it's just weird. To me, it sounds like it should be sung by John Lundvik because it's got all of the characteristics of a John Lundvik song, especially the one that he took to Tel Aviv. And you can shake your head at me, Nick. But it's just... it just sounds exactly the same. I always imagine her going, is it, at the end, because it is just literally the same. It's not using enough Mariette in there. She needs to be more Mariette and less John Lundvik. But yeah, it's okay.
Well, poor Mariette, you just dragged her through a ditch there. I love Mariette like you do, Anne. Obviously, amazing record to be a 5-time finalist. She's in the elite club as far as final performances go. You're right; it's not her best song, but it's definitely her best effort in several years. For one reason alone, she's much better on stage with other people on there. The last 2 performances she's done, she's been alone on stage, and she had that awful time last time where they stuck a guitar on the stage of her, and you can still see the guy giving it to her. It looked dreadful, but this I really liked it, and they added an extra dancer on Saturday, so there was symmetry on both sides. Yeah, the song is a little tad on the basic side. Don't you dare go for John Lundvik again, Anne. I heard you there. There'll be trouble. But yeah, this is a really good catchy song. It's got a lovely wave progression in the chorus, how it goes from one bit to another part and then back to the original part of the chorus again. I really like the construction of the song. But yeah, it's slightly on the cheesy side. I can't. But it's Melfest. Come on, we want cheese at Melfest. That's what we like.
That's what you like. 1 day out of 10.
An 8 for me.
Nathan?
Makes me feel good, a 6.
Anne?
A 6.
I think she should go back to singing songs like Don't Stop Believing. For me, this is a 3. The last song we're going to be discussing today is 6 Feet Under, performed by Smash Into Pieces. Now, I have a lot to say about this song because I feel that this song would have been the most amazing thing I have heard in Melodifestivalen in many years, only if it had a different chorus. It starts amazingly, it caught my attention from the very first beat, and it has a great build-up, great instrumentation, but then the chorus starts. And instead of making the song like really explode on the stage, they basically brought the simplest imaginable pop melody heard so many times before. And I mean, this is neither the first nor the last time that we're gonna have songs like these, because we've already had one in Melodifestivalen, kind of like similar style. It was Mystery by Dead by April. But in that song, at least, like you had the growling, which really brought out more energy. Or another band that I can compare them with is, for example, like Linkin Park, because their song normally had like rather simpler choruses, but that was when Chester Bennington's vocals really brought the power, and that power is what I'm missing in this chorus, because it just feels kind of like, I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but kind of like watered down. And like, don't get me wrong, like it's still a pretty damn good song, but I'm just disappointed because it could have been a pretty damn amazing song. Staging wise, I loved that they used these like lowered down transparent LED screens, which were like kind of uneven, and it really added to the performance. And the colors on that one and the colors in the backdrop with like the ghost town that was projected, like it worked really, really well with the song. If and when they don't win on Saturday, I do hope that next year they're going to come back and that they're going to bring something that is actually really going to make the stage explode when they perform.
Yeah, I agree. I agree at first on hoping they come back. I mean, they're an amazing band, and they're so known for the visuals. And I think I'm kind of less harsh on them because I think their visuals are so beautiful that they're playing in like the city, on the backdrop and in front of them. That's what I really like. It's quite immersive. It's one of the best stagings I've seen in Melodifestivalen this year. Not the best, but it's only because Marcus and Martinus and Loreen brought such beautiful stagings. And I think I'm kind of not disappointed by the song as much as you are, because maybe it's not enough my kind of music to expect something from it. So I didn't mind the verses, I didn't mind the chorus. I think everything is quite okay. And maybe for me, as not being a rock or metal fan, it's quite accessible. So maybe I'm the right Melodifestivalen audience for this, even though I'm not Swedish. But yeah, I really like it. The singing is great as well. The vocals are fantastic, and I hope they do come back. And like I said, that's a chance to bring a more harsh entry like the one Dead by April had, or Outrigger when they sung Echo. And I also want to remark, it's funny, because I remember the last time Loreen qualified directly to the final with a hard rock band. Well, we know what happened afterwards, so yeah, not saying anything, but you know.
Let's score 6 Feet Under out of 10. Nick?
Love the Outrigger reference, Nathan. I love that song. A 7 from me.
Nathan?
I'm giving it a 9.
Anne?
I find it the most inauthentic thing in the entire contest. I really don't like it, but for the staging, it can have 4.
I still love the song, but I just wish that it had that additional power in the chorus. So because of that, it's a 9. As you can see, the favorite of the four of us is Loreen, who scored 38 points, and she's followed by Marcus and Martinus in second with 34, and Kiana in third place with 30 points. Now let's try and think a little bit more objectively, and let's try and predict who is actually going to win.
Oh, this is so tough. What a difficult question.
I know, right?
Yeah. So this has to win. It must win. If it doesn't win, I'm going to riot all over Stockholm City Central on Saturday night. Loreen, make it happen.
Yeah, in this there is no contest at all, no question at all. Like, I'm really bad at predicting, but I'd be so surprised if it isn't Loreen. She's just a league above everyone else. It has to be Loreen on Saturday. And maybe in Eurovision as well.
Yeah, Melfest final is Loreen and her 11 support acts. There's not going to be anything else happen. She's winning.
I can't believe none of you think that THEOZ is going to win.
Yeah. All right, come on.
I also believe that it's going to be Loreen, but I think that Marcus and Martinus are going to be very, very close by. Thank you guys for watching. Let us know down in the comment section whether you agree, whether you disagree with any of our thoughts and opinions, and also tell us who your personal favorites are in this year's Melodifestivalen. Subscribe to our channel for watching more reaction videos like this one, and also to keep up to date with all of our interviews with national final entrants as well as with Eurovision entrants. And I want to thank Nick, Nathan, and Anne for joining me today. And we're going to see all of you very soon with our next reaction video. Bye, everyone.